Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We're taking the Carnival exclusive TEQ SSJ GOKU up against the legendary GT Goku event. We mustn't forget about these events. They still exist, same with SBR and ESBR. They're still going to be updated with missions. The Goku and Vegeta event obviously doesn't shift in difficulty, that remains the same. The difficulty layer gets added depending on the mission and how your box is looking with that category and what units you have, what units you don't have. SBR and ESBR on the other hand, they also are continuously being updated, and they also update the difficulty with every newer stage they do. So that you can kind of focus on a little bit more, but we're not going to ignore these because there's still events that exist in the game where new units can still be used and new category missions that end up coming out. So we've already used Cooler here, who was just, as I said, there's probably just right now only a handful of units that can dominate the way he can. Like literally, I'm talking like a couple, like year 7 LRSs, you know, the year 7 LRs. But like the amount of just sheer dominance he had in this event, actually against the Vegeta event, but in a longer event, generally ridiculous. Like the amount of attacks he can do is just generally insane. Actually, no, do you know what? We're going to do this because I'm actually going to have the rotation of the TEQ SSJ GOKU with Gohan. Finally run that perfect link up that they have, because they literally share all the same links together, even though Golden Warrior is just a doo-doo link. Yeah, we had fun with Cooler in the Vegeta event. We literally, as I said, it's basically like a playground for him just to stack up as much as he possibly can and just do so much damage with all his additionals. And now it's time for Goku to do the same, but on the opposite end of the spectrum of, it's a defensive playground for him, because of course he's going to be stacking up the entire time. Actually, I probably should have rotated Gohan off. I mean, we'll sort that. I mean, literally, because he has so many common Saiyan links, he literally links well with so many units. Like Future Gohan, Golden Warrior is doo-doo, but Super Saiyan Prepared for Battle, Fierce Battle. And then Broly, he has Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan Prepared for Battle, Fierce Battle. And Broly doesn't even need Ki. So I mean, literally, no matter what rotation we run him on, Goku's going to be fine. But yeah, as I said, we had the playground with the LR Cooler where you can just stack up his attack and just dominate and just get stronger and stronger and stronger. Now with the LRSJ Goku, this is going to be a playground to make him bulkier, bulkier and bulkier, which, I mean, this is an ideal event for a unit like this. A unit that stacks defense, this is an ideal event for this, because it just means they have all the time in the world as the event gradually gets harder and harder and harder to just get stronger and stronger and stronger, or bulkier and bulkier and bulkier in Goku's case. Combined with the fact, as long as we stay above 60% HP before the revival, he's also going to be guarding while stacking. Takes the initial hit, which by the time that Goku will start doing damage against us in the Goku event, that initial hit we take to get the 59% defense, we'll take it where he'll take a little bit of extra damage, and because of the guard and him stacking won't be too much. But by the time that actually will end up doing some damage against Goku, he's going to be tanking that for nothing as well, which means we can safely get off the initial hit to get extra 59% defense, where Goku can tank even better. And I mean, we only really get to test him out that much once, of course, we get the once Goku gets supered. So hopefully all the supers can be directed at Goku. Hopefully that is going to be the case. But as I said, by the time the GT Goku event actually will potentially start doing damage against him on basics, on that initial 59% where we want to get hit. As I said, Goku would have stacked up enough by then, along with having his guard, where that also just will end up not doing that much damage. And another thing that he has going for him, of course, is the Ki situation. Because he's such a good slot 1 unit, we want him to take as much hits as possible in slot 1, so we can build up his attack up to that 59%, which will take us 6 attacks in total, so it's 10% each time. Of course, he's getting the Ki +1 up to 5 along the way as well, and then even before we get the full Ki +10, because of course he has Ki +5 and attack and defense +159% at the start of turn. Once we get the extra Ki along the way, even before we get the full 5 to get the 10, Goku will literally come to a point where he will literally already be on his ultra super attack, which is just such a good thing to have. I mean, one of the major points being because you're always on your 18 Ki. And of course, you want Goku to constantly get his 18 Ki so he can stack his defense. So if you're already on it, you don't have to worry about orb placement being bad, because 1 Ki sphere and Goku already has his 18 Ki anyway before you even pick up an orb eventually. So by then, it doesn't even matter if orb placement's bad, because all you need is 1 Ki sphere to obviously get the super attack off. But as I said, it just doesn't matter because you've already got it. which means at all times Goku will be stacking his defense, which is exactly what you want. Because, you know, as I said before, in the last 2 to 3 years, defense is so valuable, so important because of how hard these events can hit. But then an event like this, which now is becoming quite dated, I've said this before, because they don't update the difficulty with each mission the way they update Super Battle Road and ESBR with new stages with the new missions. So things get harder. This does need updating. I mean, ideally, as I say, Goku can work incredibly well in a longer event. Just these events are quite dated at this point where they're not very difficult whatsoever. So Goku, I mean, Goku would be amazing in a longer event anyway, as I said, with the guard, the stacking. You know, by the time you get to the final phase, Goku is literally just going to be a brick wall that's going to take no damage whatsoever, even before he gets the extra 59% defense for taking a hit. But here, because of how dated it is, along with those amazing capabilities in a longer event like this, means Goku is literally just going to be... Goku is literally going to be ready. He's going to be perfect so early on. Like, already he's just taking no damage. And there we go. Our key situation's already where we want it, where we're already on the Ultra Super Attack before we even pick up a Key Sphere. But this Gohan really does need an easy A because he links perfectly with he links perfectly one of the best units in the game being this Goku, and he links perfectly with also LR Nameku, and he also links really well with Broly and a few other units, but he really needs an easy A just because he's just not good enough for the majority of the events. Yes, he's stacked, but that's only really helpful here. I mean, he may be helpful in, like, I don't know, Shadow Dragon's red zone, especially if you took things slow. But other than that, yeah, no, he really does need an easy A. But yeah, Goku is I'm pretty sure Goku may already be built up by now in terms of the key and the extra attack plus 59%. He's taken most of the attacks in slot 1, so probably. So yeah, we're on the Great 8 phase, which is one of the hardest hitting phases in the entire event, and it still is. But Goku is fully built up. Goku also... In fact, it's not even Goku. As I said, the event is incredibly outdated. So, along with Goku being fully built up, having his guard, he hasn't stacked too much, but still, he's been stacking along the way before we got here. Goku's already going to tank this, even if he gets supered. I mean, God Goku's already tanking for nothing already. This TEQ SSJ Goku's already going to tank for nothing here, even if he gets supered. As I said, these longer events, the Goku and Vegeta events, are just incredibly outdated, and the only layer of difficulty that ever comes is, as I said, with specific category missions, and depending on how that category is looking for you, and what units you have and what units you don't have. So showcasing units here definitely isn't as, I would say, crucial as it used to be, but considering it's going to be events that are currently always updated with new missions, I think it's still viable to show off units here, but it definitely is not what it used to be. But yeah, now Goku's fully built up in terms of his passive with the extra key and attack. Goku's constantly doing as much damage as he possibly can while also stacking his defense. As I said, he's constantly going to be over his 18 key no matter what. Even if we don't have him with Goku, he still has more than enough for his 18 key. Which, as I said, is perfect, because then you can worry about giving, you know, orbs to units that need it a lot more, who obviously need to super. You know, you don't have to prioritize, you know, any unit over Goku, because Goku already has what he needs in terms of getting his 18 key off, which means he's always stacking. So you can prioritize the orbs elsewhere to other units. Like, he's such a great addition to, like, most of the teams he goes on, but especially to the LR Gods 200% lead, which I was gonna take, but having this Goku with the Gods on with some of the units I would have took, literally just would have just... we would have just murdered this event. You know, he links so well with so many good units. Like, specifically for this is where the AGL LR Gohan is still viable because he stacks defense. Links perfectly with him. Gohan can sit in slot 2 while the SSJ Goku's like chilling in slot 1 with his guard, stacking himself, soaking up all the damage so Gohan doesn't take any extra damage before he supers and stacks. And then even with the LR Gods and their 200% lead, like their 200% lead was already ridiculous. Now Goku goes on that lead and then links really well with them. Yes, they're missing like Warrior Gods and stuff, but it's another unit where they can chill in slot 2, super before they get hit, potentially double super because of the 20 key part of their passive, potentially triple super if you have dupes or a friend one has dupes. And yeah, you just end up dominating pretty much. And you literally just have like a perfect setup of like, you know, a perfect slot 1 unit while the you know, the gods can stack up in slot 2. And if you are facing a pure Saiyan enemy or a movie boss enemy like we're doing now, you can have one rotation with TEQ LRSSJ GOKU and the gods, and then the second rotation could be easy A TEQ God Goku and the gods, which is just such a perfect setup. It really is. But even outside of that, you know, as I said, he already links well with the strength Goku and Gohan exchange unit. He even links well with easy A TEQ God Goku. He even links well with Broly, who never struggles for ki anyway. They both stack. Broly can sit in slot 2, stacking up, doesn't need to take any unnecessary damage prior to supering. He also has damage reduction. Broly also has double damage reduction here because of we're facing a Goku enemy and a pure Saiyan. So I mean, he can link well with so many good units. He even links quite well with the LRSSJ 4s. And again, because of him having all that extra ki in his passive, and he's always guaranteed to get his 18 ki off, the LRSSJ 4s you can just prioritize with the ki to, you know, make sure they're getting their 20 ki to double super. And if you have a dupe, triple super. He's such an amazingly versatile unit. And obviously here, because of how good he can get defensively, because he's always stacking, because it's a longer event. As I said, we already had the playground for Cooler, considering he was stacking up attack where he can just dominate. And now Goku's dominating defensively because he's always stacking up defense. Like, where is he up to right now? 257k. 257k. This is what I mean. He already has his 18 keys, so I can literally just take this singular TEQ key sphere in the corner and leave the rest of the key spheres to Nameku and AJL Gohan. Even with type disadvantage, like super him. Like, he's already taken double digits as it is, but super him. I want to see how much damage he takes. Doesn't look like he doesn't look like he's gonna get supered. Like, the only thing my TEQ LRSSJ Goku is missing being at 55%. Like, he's amazing at 55%. This is a unit you do not need dupes in. Oh, he is going to get supered. This is literally going to do nothing, even with type disadvantage. Yeah, 70 damage. 70 damage. We haven't even got the revive off yet. We were constantly above 60% HP. We haven't even got the revive off yet to where he guards at all times, which is great. You know, some strats, especially in red zone, obviously you may want to keep the revive because there's not many outlets you can heal with, apart from potential Bulma support memory or a Dokkan attack if you can get it off, or if you use like one of the year 3's EAs to get their heal, which, you know, you have to wait until the 6th turn to get. But you can kind of go around a strat where you just kind of get beat down, and then from the 5th turn, get yourself killed, get Goku come back, and then have his guaranteed guard, no HP conditions. Like that is also a possibility you could do. But obviously, as I said, with red zone, typically you're taking Whis, so you know you're not going to be able to have many outlets where you can heal. Goku's another great addition for that. In terms of having his revive here, I mean, as I said, considering the event doesn't get updated in terms of GT Goku event and Vegeta event, you don't really need it. But I mean, if you did get the revive off, that's another way to save items. Again, you can kind of force it to get the guaranteed guard. But right now, as you're seeing, we've taken next to no damage where we haven't dropped below 60% HP, so we have the guard active at all times anyway. Especially with the units we have surrounding him, then they're no defensive slouches, that's for sure. So yeah, at the moment Goku is just chilling. Goku's just vibing. Currently this is easy for him. This is easy mode. As I said, this is Goku's playground defensively. Like Goku's vibing. This is easy mode for this Goku. Because you never have to worry about him taking damage whatsoever. And I don't think we get the revive off once, considering how little health we are losing. But we move. We're against full power SSJ4 Goku, one of the hardest parts of this entire event. And Goku is going to make him look like a whole bitch. Do we pop that? Yeah, we might as well pop it. Why not? Why not? As I said, I don't think we're going to see the revive come off. I don't think we're going to lose enough health. I mean, unless Gohan gets super attacked, we're probably not going to lose enough health. So yeah, and in terms of his active skill, I mean, we can't even get that off because, again, we're not losing enough health to get it active. We need 59% HP or less. And that's just not going to happen. Goku's not even about 300k defense. Like, a lot of units at this point, you want to have like almost 400k. But considering he has guard, yeah, Goku is generally just going to chill in this part of the event. Like, he is just going to be vibing. Just in case, because the Gohan, I will pop a Whis, which now definitely means Goku is taking no damage whatsoever, even if he was to be supered. And the Vegeta event's worse because you have type advantage against SSB, which means, yeah, you have no chance of dealing damage against Goku, while Goku's dealing massive amounts of damage against you. Still, even 2 million without crit's pretty decent. Because of course, since mine's, because this is at 55%, I said he's one of the best units in the game. You do not need a dupe in him. But the only thing that would make him somewhat better is just in terms of him doing more damage in a turn, which a dupe would do. Because yes, would be doing more damage in total because we're doing extra super attack on the 12 key, but he'll also greatly raise his attack on doing the 12 key as well. That's the only thing that will make Goku better, and it's only a minor difference, considering you're mainly taking him to soak up everything, which is exactly what he's doing, while dealing some pretty decent damage, don't get me wrong. And also a dupe would be nice because then he can actually crit a lot more. But yeah, it's generally insane how good he is. Like, I keep saying this because I want to just reiterate how good he is and how good both the Dokkan Fest LR Cooler is and the Carnival exclusive Goku is. They are both amazing. They are both top 3. They are definitely both top 5, within the top 5. In my opinion, they're both in the top 3. I think the top 3 is between Vegeta and Trunks, which of course Global is yet to get, this Goku and Cooler. In terms of where you put one of them or where you put those 3 is entirely your prerogative. And I don't even think it's one of those scenarios where it's like, oh no, this guy's better. Oh no, this guy's better, where you argue who's going 1, 2, or 3. I generally think all 3 of them are so amazing, especially in the harder content in the game, where it just all depends who you prefer and also their category. Like, Cooler is one of the most fun units to use and just has sheer dominance and raw power. He's also pretty good defensively, but obviously doesn't have like guard or damage reduction. But he's still very good against Broly, I've seen it, while having type disadvantage, especially if he gets the additional supers. And he's also good against Cell Max. But whereas if you have Bond of Parent and Child, which is one of the best categories in the game, where you can have all the best units in the game, including this new Goku, LR Nameku, Vegeta and Trunks, the Year 7s, Gohan Exchange Goku, oh sorry, wrong way around, Goku Exchange Gohan and many more. There's them, and again they have their guards, defensive they're good, decent damage output, decent linking partners. And then you have Goku again, defensively ridiculous, goes on a lot of the great categories, links really well with the gods, improves their 200% lead, more great linking partners for him as well, stacks defense. So yeah, I generally think those are probably the top 3 units in the game. Obviously for Global, not yet, because we don't have Vegeta and Trunks, but in December during Tanabata, that will eventually be our top 3. But I generally think it's one of those, it's just who you prefer. Because they are, all 3 of them, but specifically the Cooler and the Goku, they are easily top 3 unit in the game, and I think it just depends what you value most or who you prefer, etc. But yeah, in terms of a longer event, as I said, this has just been Goku's playground as well, just the defensive version. Goku has been chilling, just soaking up everything. Super attacks have done nothing against him. As I said, this is the ideal event for him. It's just if only there was a more difficult, longer event where we could really test him. I mean, we're going to be here a little bit longer. Actually, no, never mind. The additional and the crit from Future Gohan. He's such a good easy A as well. But considering how good he is defensively because of the guard and also the stacking the defense, yeah, he was literally never going to be an issue here. He was never going to be an issue here. So any future category missions that come out for GT Goku and the Vegeta event that Goku can fit on. And if you have him, definitely bring him, because this guy will make this event look easy. He really would. He really, really will. Especially while linked up with the LR gods, where they're stacking and just doing ridiculous amounts of damage. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next video, guys. And peace.